They say the greatest danger doesn't always come from the enemies outside. Sometimes it's the stranger you invite into your home. He came with a smile, soft-spoken, respectful, the kind of boy every parent would trust. But behind that smile was a darkness waiting to unfold. Little by little, the walls of the house began to whisper, and the family realized too late that their greatest mistake was giving him a key to the door. My name is Chioma. I never planned to hire a houseboy, but life was hard. After my husband left, I was alone with my little daughter Ada. I had to work, cook, clean, and still care for her. One evening, while I was sweeping the compound, my neighbor, Mama Ëvil, said to me, "Chioma, you need help. Why not get a boy to assist you? I know one. He is quiet, humble, and cheap. He will not disturb you." At first, I said no. I don't like strangers in my home. But after many nights of coming back from work tired, with Ada crying for food, I agreed. That was the day I made the biggest mistake of my life. The boy's name was Ëvil. When he arrived, he was very respectful. He bent his head low and said, "Good evening, Auntie." His voice was soft, almost too soft. He looked neat, with simple clothes and clean slippers. The first week, Ëvil worked very well. He swept the compound before the sun came up. He fetched water, washed the dishes, even ironed Ada's school uniform. I thought to myself, finally, God has sent me help. But soon, small, strange things began to happen. One night, I woke up to drink water. As I passed the sitting room, I saw Ëvil standing in the dark. He wasn't moving, he wasn't speaking. He was just standing and looking at the family photo on the wall. "Ëvil!" I called, my voice shaking. He turned slowly, smiled, and said, "Auntie, I was only stretching." Then he went back to his room. The next morning, I checked that same photo. It had moved just a little. I told myself maybe Ada had touched it. Maybe I was imagining things. But my heart did not rest. Another night, I heard footsteps in the corridor. They were light, slow, like someone tiptoeing. I held my daughter close and waited, but the sound stopped. The next day, I asked him, "Ëvil, did you walk around at night?" He smiled again and said, "Auntie, you must have been dreaming." But the way he smiled, it was not the smile of a boy. It was the smile of someone who knew something I did not. That was when I realized the stranger I had brought into my home was not as harmless as he looked. That morning, after Ëvil smiled at me, I could not rest. His smile stayed in my head. It was not normal. It was the kind of smile that made your stomach turn cold. But still, I told myself, "Chioma, stop overthinking. He's only a boy. He is helping you." For some days, things were calm again. He cooked, swept, and even made Ada laugh. One evening, Ada came running to me, smiling. "Mummy, Uncle Ëvil told me a story." He said, "One day, a man disappeared inside a mirror." I frowned. "Which mirror?" I asked. "The one in our corridor," Ada whispered. "He said if you look inside it too long, you will see another face smiling back at you." My body froze. "Don't listen to him again, Ada," I said quickly. and don't go near that mirror alone. That night, when Ada was asleep, I went to check the corridor mirror. It was just a normal mirror, tall, a little cracked at the edge. I touched it, and my hand came back wet, but the mirror was dry. The very next day, Mama Ëvil came to my house. She looked worried. "Choma, how is that boy?" she asked. I forced a smile. "He's fine. He helps me a lot." She pressed her lips together and said nothing for a moment. Then she whispered, "Be careful. That boy is not as innocent as he looks. His last madam sent him away because things happened in her house." But she refused to talk. My chest grew tight. "What things?" I asked quickly. But Mama Ëvil only shook her head. "Just keep your eyes open." When she left, I felt fear crawl into my bone. That week, the house changed. The nights became longer. Sometimes I woke up and found the kerosene lamp burning, though I never lit it. Sometimes Ada cried in her sleep, calling, "Mummy, close the door. He's standing there." Each time I rushed to the door, I found nothing, just silence. One night, I gathered courage and went to Obina's small room. The door was slightly open. Inside, he was sitting on the floor, back to me, whispering. I listened carefully. His voice was low, too low, like he was talking to the ground. I stepped closer. The smell hit me first, a strong smell of palm oil mixed with something rotten. Then I saw it, a small bowl on the floor, filled with red liquid feathers and black powder. "Obina!" I shouted. He turned slowly, his eyes wide, as if I had caught him naked. But then he smiled again. Always that smile. "Auntie, I was only praying," he said. "Praying? With feathers and blood?" My heart shook. 2 nights later, Ada woke me with her small hand shaking my arm. "Mummy," she whispered, "I don't want to sleep in my room again. Uncle Obina comes to talk to me at night." I sat up at once. "What do you mean?" She held my hand tighter. "He sits by my bed when you are sleeping. He tells me to follow him to see someone he calls Mother." I felt my whole body tremble. I pulled her close to me. "From today, you sleep here with me," I said. I wanted to shout at Obina the next morning, but when I saw him, he was carrying water, his face calm, his head bent low. If I accused him without proof, he might deny everything. So I decided to watch him. One stormy night, as rain hit the roof hard, I heard a sound near my door, the soft turning of a key. But I was sure my door was locked from inside. I grabbed Ada and held my breath. Slowly, the door creaked open. But no one entered, only the wind. When I jumped out of bed to check, the corridor was empty. The main door to the house was wide open, swinging in the storm. And on the floor lay my house key. I swear, I had placed it under my pillow before sleeping. By now, I knew something was very wrong. This was not just a houseboy. This was a stranger with secrets too dark for my home. The final push came when I checked Ada's school bag one morning. Inside her notebook, someone had drawn a strange symbol with charcoal, a circle, with a black line crossing it. Underneath, in rough handwriting, was one sentence. "She belongs to me now." I dropped the book, my hands shaking. Ada swore she didn't write it. That evening, when Obinna came back from fetching water, I stood at the door, blocking him. "Obinna," I said with a hard voice, "we need to talk." He looked at me for a long moment, then his lips spread in that same chilling smile. "Auntie," he whispered, "I told you before. You invited me." And then he stepped into the house, closing the door behind him.